Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Nasiba. Today I have a pleasure to have as my guest Mr. Sahir Keshwani, a respected financial professional who has helped many families build and protect their financial future here in the United States. Before we start our discussion, can I kindly ask you to share a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Nasiba. First of all, let me thank you for inviting and talking to your audience. I'm myself an immigrant and I have seen the stress that I had to go through when I came to the country. So I completely understand the stress that people go through when they come to the country and not knowing the rules of money, where to invest, and how to save. In my past experience, I have worked a couple of decades in the financial services space as well as in technology. Right now, I help families with defensive financial plan, protecting themselves, their families, helping with kids education planning, helping with investments in tax strategies by doing diversification, retirement planning, legacy planning. And my mission is very simple: to help America learn how to win the money game. First, by learning how money works, and then building a foundation which is a strong financial future for themselves.
Thank you, Mr. Keshwani, for sharing your journey. It's inspiring to hear what led you into this work. Many families arrived in the United States without much knowledge of the financial system. What are the first steps they should take to protect their families?
It's a very good question. When immigrants come to United States, they need to first build the financial acumen, their knowledge in how finances work in the country, and then eventually stabilize into the system. I always recommend families to first start with building up their emergency funds, which is by default around 6 months of their monthly expenses. Once they have received that much funds in their emergency kitty, is when they should go about helping themselves with health and life insurance coverages to protect their families in case their incomes get impacted or there are medical situations that come their way. Post that, they should start thinking about kids' education planning and retirement planning and essentially get on a path of financial foundation that is strong for a long run.
What common mistakes do people make when it comes to managing money here? And how can they avoid them?
In my experience, immigrants, when they come to this country, they make a few mistakes of suddenly incurring a lot of debt, credit card debt, in general, debts that can be very expensive for them in a long run. So, that's one area I recommend families and new immigrants to avoid or reduce based on their needs. The second mistake I find them doing is when they have money, they try to invest directly into stocks, bonds, or into places that they do not understand. I always recommend them to start with financial protection by making sure that their emergency funds and family protection is in place with life and health insurances. And once they have taken care of their children's education and retirement plan, is when they should start moving on to doing other investments. The second area I find, or the third area rather, I find that people may not understand the way tax laws work in the country. So, understanding different investments and what kind of tax advantages they have is also a crucial thing, so that you are not just saving money in a bank account, right? You are also doing investments in the instruments that give you tax advantages.
The other day I met an Uzbek family. We discussed about estate planning, and they mentioned that they did a will because they have 3 kids. And when I asked, did you do a trust? It surprised me. They answered that they are not rich enough to make a trust. And they think that it's only for wealthy people. And my question is here, is it true that trust only for the wealthy people? And why is the family should consider estate planning early?
A good question, Nasiba. It is a misconception that trust is for only wealthy families. Even if you have any kind of assets in this country, let's say you have a home, for example, right? To avoid lengthy probate and court processes and the cost associated with it, when an untoward, untimely death happens within a family, a trust could be really, really handy for the family's sake, so the families don't have to go through the stress afterwards. Also, you need to understand that when these situations occur, the timing of when this is happening. Do you really want your families to go through the court process so they can transfer the assets over to their beneficiaries, their children? Absolutely not, right? You want to have control of transferring the assets into the beneficiaries. This is one part that a trust can really do well, which means that if you own assets, one should consider having a trust.
Could you please tell me the difference between a will and a trust, and how each one helps to protect assets?
Let me start by saying that estate law is governed by the state that you reside in at your death. A will is a document, it's a legal document that allows to do 2 things. One, appoint a guardian if you have minor children. So when the parents are not around, who is going to be the person that is going to take the custody of the child? Ensure the well-being of the child becomes a priority for them. That's the first and number one thing why one needs a will. The second reason why you need a will is to have an inheritance plan, so the assets can be transferred over to your beneficiaries. Will requires you to have a probate process, which is a court process, which the executor that you appoint in the will has to go through. It can be time consuming and expensive at times. This is the reason why you should have a will. Now let me talk a little bit about the trust. Trust is a document which will allow you to hold assets. Imagine you have a home, you got bank accounts, you may have retirement accounts and other things. When you're not around, a will has to go through probate process, so these assets can get transferred to your beneficiaries. But imagine having a trust and these same home, bank account, retirement account can be transferred into the trust while you're living. And this is a revocable living trust. When you are no more, since you don't own anything, nothing needs to go through the probate process. So trust, a revocable living trust, is primarily used to avoid probate. So in my opinion, both documents are important for families' protection and estate plan and the transfer of assets seamlessly.
Is the same process of making trust and will for the families who has a special need child?
A good question. Special needs children do need a special needs trust. And that can be done in conjunction when parents prepare their own revocable living trust. So instead of transferring assets upon their passing to the special needs child directly, it goes through a special needs trust. And there is a trustee appointed for the special needs trust who takes care of the distribution of the assets to the special needs child. Now, why would one need a special needs trust? There are several government benefits, federal and local, especially the special SSI benefits that is available, which may not be available for a special needs child if you don't do proper planning using special needs trust.
Okay.
So it's crucial for families that have minor children and have special need children to create a special needs trust.
Retirement may seem far away for many people. When should the family start planning for retirement? And what are the most important steps to take?
Retirement is something that needs to be taken very seriously in US. It can be really expensive in this country to retire, especially with inflation and cost of things rising over a period of time. It is more so crucial to start planning for retirement sooner than later. Warren Buffett says that compound growth is the eighth wonder of the world, which means that one needs to start saving for retirement as early as possible, even in their 20s and 30s. Retirement may be far off, but it's not about the timing the market. It's about how much time you spend investing in the market. One should start looking at what opportunities an employer provides at work to save towards retirement. You should look at the benefit plan if a 401k is provided to the employee, and if there is any kind of matching available from the employer, which is very common nowadays. The second thing that one needs to look at is an individual retirement account, an IRA. If you are eligible, you should also look at contributing into a Roth IRA. What is a Roth IRA? You are allowing your money to grow tax free. Imagine that you save $5,000 or $6,000 into Roth IRA today, which is after tax dollars. All the growth that you are going to have, and when you take the distribution from this Roth IRA in your retirement, let's say at age 60 or beyond, there is no tax to be paid on the growth. It's a beautiful vehicle that is available for people, and one should take advantage. United States also has a social security program, which one can use to take retirement income, but that may not be enough.
Yeah, that's true.
So one needs to start planning by themselves and start saving towards retirement. If you are a small business owner, you can also look at other ways how you can save towards retirement. Businesses can contribute into your retirement for the owners and other people. If you qualify, there are utilities like SEP IRA, which can be really useful. One should not wait to get into 50s and 60s because it might be too late at that point to get that time for your investments to grow in the market. So I always recommend people to start early.
It means I should start now?
Absolutely, you should start now, and longer you stay and longer you invest, you will have your nest egg which will be larger.
Life insurance considered such a vital tool for family protection.
Life insurance has to be seen as an income replacement tool for a family. Imagine a breadwinner passing away. How are the debts going to be paid off? How will mortgage be paid off? How will kids be educated? Will there be enough money for the expenses of the family? The life has to go on, and for that purpose, we need to prepare and have life insurance done while we are living and can qualify. The second reason people buy life insurance is also for the purposes when they end up into a long-term care situation. Chronic, critical, terminal illnesses can now be included in a life insurance and even a term life insurance for that matter. So, to help us protect from the untoward events in our lives, life insurance can come really, really handy.
Next question is, who is eligible for life insurance?
That's a good question. A lot of times people feel that life insurance is only for green card holders or for citizens. That's not true. Life insurance industry has innovated and transformed over a period of time as more and more immigrants are getting into the country and becoming legal eventually, or rather, or becoming green card holders and citizens eventually. Even when you are an immigrant on a valid state or valid status in US, you are eligible for life insurance. You should work with a licensed professional and check whether your status allows you to have life insurance in the country. Life insurance companies, they check and make sure that you want to live here for a longer period of time. And if you have shown that intent, and there is insurability reasons, you should consider applying for life insurance for family protection.
Who is not eligible for life insurance?
Imagine you just landed in the country and there is not enough history, for example. Then some life insurance companies may want to see you being present here maybe for a year or two. Or if you are on a student visa, perhaps. In that scenario as well, you may not be eligible.
How to grow money tax-free?
Growing money tax-free is my favorite topic of all. You need to understand the tax code in US to be able to make the right investments. Let me give you a few examples of certain investments that have tax advantages. Start with Roth, either Roth IRA or Roth 401k, which we discussed a little while back. If you are eligible for Roth IRA, you should save towards it. All the growth becomes tax-free with Roth IRA and Roth 401k. Second popular utility or strategy people use in the country is 529 planning, which is for kids' education. As long as you can use this money for proper qualified purpose of educating your children, the distribution can be tax-free from a 529 plan. Life insurance, in which there is cash value. There is IRS code 7702 that allows you to borrow money from the cash value tax-free. Plus, all the proceeds from a life insurance contract is tax-free as well. And there are other vehicles like HSA. It's a health savings account. If your health plan qualifies for HSA, meaning it's a high deductible account, then saving in an HSA can also give you tax advantages, provided you can use these funds for the right reasons of healthcare related expenses. So if families start learning how to invest in right places, they will keep the money in their pocket rather than going into Uncle Sam.
Most immigrants support their families here in the United States and abroad. What strategies they should use to balance and still support in both countries?
That's a good question. I've been an immigrant myself, and I remember sending money back home so that the dependents and my family gets taken care. We are always competing between the priorities of building our life here and helping families abroad. But you can't pour from an empty cup, can you?
No.
You got to take care of yourself first. First pay yourself. Save into your emergency funds.
Right.
Ensure you've taken care of your children and retirement. Once these things are met, I always recommend to create a budget for helping families abroad. Create a separate bank account perhaps, so that you are able to manage the long-term responsibilities here, so you can have a strong financials in US, and then to use the separate bank account to help you budget and send the money abroad. See, in a plane as well, what do they say? First take care of yourself before helping somebody else, right?
Yes.
So that is going to be an important discipline immigrants have to learn while they are in US.
That's very helpful advice. I would like to add something from my own experience. In my community, many families work very hard here in the United States, but when it comes to cultural or religious wedding, like hosting big receptions or gathering, they often spend generously. Sometimes without thinking about the long-term impact. I completely understand this because it's my own culture and family gathering, it's very important. But I hope that through this conversation, people will start understanding and thinking about balancing those beautiful traditions with planning for their future. Mr. Keshwani, if you could give one piece of advice to every immigrant family in America, what it would be?
It's $1 million question. If I were to be able to give one advice, I would tell people, guys, learn how money works in the country. You want to win this money game, don't you? We have all worked really, really hard to come to US. Don't we want our money to work harder for us?
Of course we want.
Don't our family deserve to get the best? Invest time in yourself to learn these strategies so you can have an emergency fund. You can do family protection. Take care of your kids' education, retirement planning, and then go on to doing larger investments in stocks, bond, real estate, and other things. We all deserve to have a good opportunity and a life in US, and that can only happen with proper financial knowledge.
Keshwani, thank you very much for your time, valuable insights today. I know our audience will get benefit the knowledge you have shared today. As a small gesture of appreciation, I brought souvenirs from Uzbekistan. I hope you will use this pen for signing important documents.
I will. Thank you so much.
And I hope you will have partners from Uzbekistan and clients.
Absolutely.
And I hope this funny grandpa will find the right place in your office in Virginia and will remind us our friendship and culture.
Thank you so much, Nasiba. This was a surprise, and I really appreciate you for the gift and also for having me talk in front of your audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please remember, today's conversation was only educational purposes. Each family is unique, so for professional advice, please contact directly a licensed legal, financial, or tax professionals. If you have any question, please feel free to reach me out. I'm also a licensed here in the state of Illinois. I'm honored to say that Mr. Keshwani is my mentor as I continue learning and growing in this field. Thank you again for watching. This video will be available in Uzbek and other languages, so you can check it on my YouTube channel.